Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben. That's right, we are doing our first Porsche on my YouTube channel. This is a 2000 Porsche 911. It's the 3.4 liter Carrera, and it takes 5W40, and we're going to be starting on the motor oil right now. But before we do it, we're going to do an engine flush. But I want you guys to hear what this sounds like before we change it. Go ahead and take a listen. Getting ready to put in our engine flush, but before we do, I wanted to show you something very interesting. You'll see all this kind of gunk here all around this cap, and this is the oil port where you put the oil in. It's like a little plastic snap thing, and I wanted to show you the oil cap. Take a look at this, and basically you'll see all that burnt Mobile 1, and basically Mobile 1 is a little bit bile, if you will. As a gentleman would say, Porsche, the sits non substitutes. Where would you be with non-comedy? Germany. Now it's time to put in our engine flush. And what this is, it's a very thin detergent, and it actually breaks down all this little sludge that's in the crankcase. And these engines are known to burn a lot of oil. And a lot of the guys, they go, oh, well, they're a flat 6, and the oil sits on the side, and it's natural. It's just natural for them to burn oil. Well, that's what I was told with another engine that's like this, is a Volkswagen bus. And when the owner of a Volkswagen bus, I'm going to put a little video to that motor oil change right here in the corner. That's going to come up in a second. And basically, he had less than a third of the burn-off once he switched over. So we're putting in our thin detergent, very, very thin, and what it does is it really thins out the oil, and it makes it come out so much easier. What a great difference. And now all we do is start her up, and we let her idle for 15 minutes. Now we start her up and let her idle for 15 minutes. If you like my GT3 rubbers, and as she's idling for 15 minutes, we're going to go ahead and put in our PI Performance Improver. What this is it's a proprietary fuel injection cleaner. Cleans all the varnish off the valves. It gets carbon deposits out of the combustion chamber. It really, really helps clean up your whole fuel system. Over the years, you get a lot of ethanol varnish from water separation, expansion and contraction. And basically all you do is put this in every 4,000 miles. And we call this one finger cleaning. Just takes one finger. Talk about easy cleaning. Got done idling her for 15 minutes, and now she should come off like butter. We got our 8mm Allen key. We got our nice long breaker bar. So it should be easy as pie. And that's it. My Allen key extension. And I'm going to keep threading it until it lets go. But I'm going to keep it against it. And on the count of 3, I'm going to yank out 1, 2, 3. And there she blows. Yeah, after idling it for 15 minutes, the oil's about 200 degrees, so definitely be conscious of that. Now, this is the bolt. There's the crush washer. We're good to go. I'm not going to replace the crush washer. I've never had one leak on me. This could be the first one. Who knows? But you go down level so she can drain all the way. Right, guys, we're just letting it drain down for about 15 minutes. God, this thing smells unbelievable. The burnt up Mobil 1 that's in this thing, I can't even imagine the type of crap that's going to come out of this thing. Just unbelievable, the stench of the oil. I've never smelt anything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see the way this thing idles. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. You can tap the little red icon in the corner. And really appreciate you guys checking out my channel. We do all different types of fluids on here. We do coolant, transmission fluid, brake fluid, power steering fluid, differential gear lube, manual transmissions, automatics, all of them. And you'll see that in my playlist. But, God, the smell is unreal. Take a look at this buildup here inside there. Look at all that buildup. I started wiping it. You can see I got some of it, but oh my God, it reeks. All right, well, we're gonna pop off our oil filter. She's just dripping, and basically you can see how the flush actually delaminates the oil, and it breaks it down to like a water. It just makes it drip out. It's amazing what it does. But we're gonna go ahead and crack our filter. And this is a little metal cap that goes on. It's super tight, so it should come off like butter. Got our big long breaker bar, makes it really easy. And it's gonna spin on there. So, what you gotta do is you have to tap it on with material. I just wanted to show you to get the filter off. If you don't have a super high quality filter cap, it's gonna stretch because this filter plastic housing, this housing is 200 degrees right now, and this metal stretches and it expands and it spins on it because these grooves aren't big enough. So you actually have to sandwich paper towel in between to make it tighter, and then you'll be able to crack it loose. All right, now we got our little guy, so we can do it nice and easy. And now she'll start leaking a little bit. And that's it. Basically, just do her by hand. And the paper towel should catch some of the oil. All right, there she goes. Oh my God, this stuff reeks. Oh my God, that smells like, oh God, is that terrible. Holy shit. Oh my God, it smells. All right, guys, I'm gonna pop off our little filter here. There she is. And this is a man filter. We're gonna be putting an upgraded Wix filter on. All right, there she is. She's off. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and drop her down. Here we go. Guys, I know you Porsche guys are very technical, so I'm going to bring the technicalities. This is a basically a man oil filter that's German, and this is a Wix oil filter. And this is the replacement. And what the differences are is the actual end caps are different, and this plastic doesn't allow oil to go through the side, and it's got an upgraded rubber around this grommet, and it's symmetrical. It's actually a symmetrical oil filter. And then it's reinforced inside with an upgraded plastic. And if you can get the Wix filter for your car, you'll be better off. It's a little bit higher quality filter. The next level up after Wix is AMSOIL. The AMSOIL filters have a proprietary medium, and it's a synthetic technology, and it actually filters at 98.7% efficiency at 20 microns. So this is actually a motorcycle oil filter, and this is actually designed to go double the interval of an OEM Honda Valkyrie Rune. So if it says 5,000 miles, you can go 10,000 miles with this filter. And this medium flows better when it's cold. So in your cold start, you have less wear in the engine. About 80% of the wear in an engine is during the cold start. And the other thing about this filter is it has an upgraded anti-drain back valve, which this doesn't have a drain back valve, but a lot of other thread-on filters do. And this is a big upgrade. Also, it's a proprietary synthetic medium, and it holds 4 times more contaminants than a cellulose paper filter. So cellulose paper filters are good for about 2,500 miles to 3,500. These are good for about 15,000 miles, depending on the driving conditions. And then AMSOIL makes filters that are even up to good for 25,000 miles. Got her nice and clean. Now we're gonna go ahead and put on our fresh O-ring. We're gonna pop off our old one. There's a little notch right here where you can get underneath it. You just come right here in the corner, pop her off. Just be careful with the threads. There goes the old, on goes the fresh new one. And now, one of my favorite parts, and I know you guys love this, I love wetting my rubbers. So we're gonna go ahead and crack open a nice fresh bottle. Got a nice fresh bottle of 5W40. This meets and exceeds Porsche A-Spec, Audi, BMW. And we're just gonna wet our rubbers a little bit. Go ahead and put a little bit on the threads, just like so. The wetter the better. Even if you get a little messy, you drip a little bit, you're better off dripping than being dry. And you know the filter's nice and wet when your rubbers slip on it like butter. We're gonna go a step further. We're gonna wet our rubbers on here too and feel her up a little bit. So we're gonna stick in a little bit of oil. Go ahead and get it around that lip there. And now we use 2 finger and wet her up even more and get inside there. 2 fingers, good. And you get inside, and now it'll slip on like butter. Porsche guys are very technical. We're just gonna keep going deeper. This is the drain plug that we took off earlier, and it's got a crush washer. I don't have a new crush washer, not worried about it. Basically what happens when people put one on and it leaks, what they did is they flipped the crush washer around. So you'll see on this side, it's very smooth and there's no ridge. But if I flip it over, there's actually a ridge. Oh, I dropped it. That's my first drop today. I'll have another drop at the bar later. But so this is the other ridge, and you'll see around this side, you'll see there's that little metal ridge. And that metal ridge is from the first crushing. And it's from this actual aluminum bolt is what did that. So when you put it on, you have to make sure that the flat side is up against the oil pan, is the flat side, and then the crush side is on the actual plug. So the crush side goes on the plug, just like that. The flat side goes against the pan. Also, if you think, oh, well, I'll just crush it harder, you can't. This is actually aluminum, and you'll actually strip the pan on this, and I'd be willing to bet that pan's like 1,300 bucks. Up. And now I think the manual says like 36 pound-feet or something. I don't go near that much. I've never had any drain bolt. I've done probably about 300 oil changes in my life. I've never had one leak ever on any crush washer, ever. So you make sure you put it back on right, and then you tighten it just nice and firm. You don't have to go real hard. And that's it. You go about 20 pound-feet of torque. I think they actually push the filter up first so it's square. It's all nice and seated good. Now we're good to go ahead and thread her up. She threads on like butter. Basically, you can just thread it on with 2 fingers. You don't need any special pressure or anything like that. It should go on like butter. And that's it. To do it, you can use a little teeny 6-inch socket, and you'll feel it get nice and firm. I'll show you how tight. Watch. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's it. It's bottomed out. That's all you do. Alright guys, it's that time to put in our liquid gold. We're going to go ahead and put in our 5W40, And this is European Classic, and this is for Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. And you can see some of the benefits, and to kind of paint the picture how good this oil is, this burns off at about half the rate of Mobil 1, and also you have much less wear on your pistons and cams. So there's a lot of benefits to it, and this oil is actually run in Mercedes Sprinter vans, and the Mercedes Sprinter vans run this oil for up to 50,000 miles, and they do oil analysis, and that's a lot of fleets use this. And this car takes, what is it, 8.7 quarts. But since we use the flush, I'm going to be willing to bet it's going to take a lot more than 8.7. So that's why I got 10 quarts for this car. A lot of the European cars, believe it or not, take a lot more than you expect. And I actually did an oil change on a 2005 Ferrari Madonna 360. And that was a little teeny a 4.3 liter V8. And that took like 12 and a half quarts. And I'm going to put a link to that right here. And I use this same motor oil in that car. And that's how good this 100% synthetic is. And the other thing about this oil is it doesn't thicken like the other motor oils. So you say, well, what do you mean? So for instance, when you have like a Mobil 1, what happens is the Mobil 1 actually thickens about, say, 30% over, say, 10,000 miles. Because a lot of these cars, they go, oh, you're good for 10,000 miles. And a lot of people say you're crazy. You got to change it at 5,000. And that's true. When you're using Mobil 1, you do want to change it at 5,000. But with this oil, when you actually get to about, say, 10,000 miles, this motor oil will have thickened about 11%. And I actually did an oil analysis video on my personal Corvette. I did 13 months and 11,000 miles on my Corvette using AMSOIL, and my Corvette only holds 6.5 quarts. Now this car is going to hold like 9 quarts. So this car actually has a lot more cooling with more motor oil than my Corvette. So believe it or not only is the oil that much better, but it doesn't thicken. And when the motor oil thickens, it doesn't circulate, it doesn't flow as well, and that's what actually wears out your pistons and cams on your cold starts. And about 80% of the wear on an engine is during the cold start. And thick oil, especially like a 40 weight, as it breaks down and it gets thicker, it gets rougher, sandier, and it just wears out your engine. And that's why a lot of engine guys say, no, don't drive your Porsche 10,000 miles or 1 year, change it at 5,000. So that's a little bit of information on that. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing by tapping the icon in the corner. Also, I wanted to mention the AMSOIL Preferred Customer Program. If you're thinking about trying these products, my link is in the description below. You can click on it. It'll get you 25% off. It'll get you the free shipping, and it'll get you this AMSOIL magazine for the whole year. And it costs only $10 for this for 6 months to become a member, and you'll get free shipping on any order $100 or more. And they go over graphs and how the difference between Mobil 1 and how the difference in quality. They also talk about a lot of different things, acid neutralization, and here's the breakdown. So I mentioned earlier the breakdown of the oil is a difference, and that's the graph on that. And basically, they just give you a lot of new technical bulletin updates on the different products. And if you have any questions about fleets or anything, feel free to reach out to me. You can leave a comment below, or you can give me a text, and I will definitely get back to you. And we're going to keep feeling this little angel up, and we're going to be starting her up in a second. All right? It's the moment of truth, our first startup with AMSOIL. 3, 2, 1. Wow. Listen to how quiet that is. We're gonna do a little rev just so you can hear the compression difference. Go ahead and give it a little touch.
Oh, a little one.
Yeah, that's good. Just a little.
Wait, okay.
Now just punch it for a second. Wow. That is his review, yeah.
This is his baby, you know. He had his, when he turned 40, he had his 40-year-old thing. He had to go get a Porsche, you know. It was like, oh, I had to go get a Porsche. He dropped me off, got me my hair. I went to go get my hair done. When I got done with my hair, he had a Porsche. I'm like, what the hell? He went through his little man crisis. 40.
Lots of good traffic today.
I'm like, I want a Porsche, and then I'm like, well, I don't really want to pay for it.
That's 53. That fast.
Yeah.
That quiet.
That's why I get tickets.
Oh my God. It's amazing.
The tires feel better.
What?
To me, the tires feel better.
All right, so she notices less vibration.
Yeah.
She said the tires feel better. It's what it is.
And the steering wheel, it seems like.
Yeah, there's less vibration in the steering wheel because it's all connected in the drivetrain and all that.
Yeah, it feels like so much better to me than when I first got in it this morning. Because it would just seem like it was like...
Yeah. So that's just...
And I don't feel the tires that much.
Yeah, it's
and
just...
I don't hear them.
It's that much more lubricated.
Do you hear them like that?
It's... Well, the tires have a... It's the tread pattern.
But when you first took the tire, didn't you hear it like more?
Yeah, but that's how much smoother this oil is.
Yeah.
It's that much of a difference.
Because I don't hear the... Like... I think he needs his brakes done.
Yeah.
You think he needs his brakes done?
Oh, that's nothing. You just do it once it's on the feelers. But you can just hear how the compression...
Yeah, I think even...
You can hear it, yeah.
I think the tires are smoother even on it.
Yeah. So she notices the tires, because she doesn't drive it a lot, but once Danny drives it, he'll feel the motor and stuff like that. But it's amazing what this stuff does, but it's cool if she doesn't even drive it much, and she notices it.
Yeah, I don't.
It's weird.
But I think it's better in the steering wheel and the tires so far.
Wow. All right.
I'll definitely even see more tonight when I get in it.
Yeah, they'll do some racing around later. All right, we'll see you guys. All right, guys, my rubbers are off. Closing notes, everything went smooth. This is my take on a Porsche oil change. Everything went really good. Believe it or not, with the motor oil flush we used, it actually ended up taking 9.1 quarts. So the factory manual says 8.7. Once you thin out that oil, all the oil runs out of the little, what are they called? Everything went super smooth. You can hear the engine's running a lot smoother. It's idling a lot smoother. And as the PI performance improver, this is what we put in the gasoline. As this goes through the system, it's going to clean the valves, and it's actually going to get better compression. And you can already hear the compressions a little bit better already from the flush. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about this stuff, feel free to reach out to me. You can call me, text me, and that's pretty much it. We can do this for any type of car. You can use the flush on it, and you can also use the fuel injection cleaner. Also, we have a playlist on a lot of other engine flushes you'll see, and then also you'll see my exotic Ferrari oil change at the end as well. If you guys enjoyed this took me about 2 hours to do this oil change and do the video and include all the information. If it really helped you out, definitely consider giving it a thumbs up if it helped you. And we will see you guys back next time on synthetic oil protection. Cheers to protection, protection, protection.